Good morning. It is Tuesday, the last day of March, in what feels like the winter that would never end. But just like in Narnia, we know that winter does end. Spring is coming, and one of the frustrations for me right now is that I have time at home. I can't go anywhere else. My yard needs attention, and I don't really care. But I would like to start thinking about planting flowers, and I can't figure out how to go buy any when the time comes. Maybe we'll be free to roam by then. I usually wait until almost Mother's Day to plant anyway, because of where we live and the danger of a blizzard still coming in the spring sometime. It's happened often. But I feel that itch, but I can't even go to the store and buy my petunias. Interestingly enough, even hardware stores are beginning to offer curbside pickup if you order online. So I don't know. Maybe I'll have to pick out my pansies online this year. We are we keep saying that we are facing unprecedented times. And in the conversation with one of our daughters yesterday, she said, I'm making a list. I've started making a list, 2 columns. When we come out of this, things I want to keep in my life, and things I want to let go. You don't even really have to quit those things now. You've already quit them. So just don't bring them back. And I don't know what that will be for you. I would not be surprised if for many of us, an overcrowded schedule is one of the things we don't want to ever bring back. And I hope we can figure out how to do that. I hope we can find a way to take from this day the things that were good. And some of those were the time to be together with the people we love. An illustration of this came from another daughter who, it's actually one of our middle school granddaughters, who's a delightful young woman, very talented in many ways. And her school opened, as many have, her school opened for just a few hours, and in a very sterile environment, 1 or 2 at a time, students could come in and fetch whatever they needed from their lockers to get through the rest of the year, basically. And so Macy, who's, as I said, she's very talented in very many ways. And so, it would be interesting to say, well, what did Macy need to get from school? Here's what Macy needed. Her running shoes. That's all she wanted, just her running shoes. It's like she had already made those 2 lists in her little mind and said, these things I'm doing fine without. This one thing, I need this for my sanity. So they went to get her running shoes. I don't know what the equivalent of running shoes is for you. But whatever it is, I hope you can make those lists and think that through. I'm going to do that, even though my life has become pretty narrow compared to what it used to be in the new place where we live and the change in our jobs. And yet, I do feel like there are things that have been cluttering my mind and my time, and I need to figure out what to let go. Probably not going to be Netflix, to just tell you the truth. But it's a new way of living right now. I think we have to stop thinking of it as a temporary problem. It is temporary, but it's not going to be short temporary. And so we were talking about how hard it is even just to get groceries because we are so accustomed to an instant society. Even Amazon Prime isn't Prime right now. I'm used to ordering. It's one of the joys for me living out in the country. I could order something from Amazon and have it within 2 days, occasionally even the next day. If you live in a city, you could get it the same day even. Well, that's not true anymore. Nothing is instant. Many grocery stores in our area offer curbside pickup, which is a fantastic, or even delivery within the city, within the towns. Tremendous things. But you can't order milk, butter, and eggs on Monday and plan to pick it up on Tuesday. Most people are having a 4 to 5 day wait or longer for the normal groceries that they would buy. So that just means we have to change how we think. We were talking about that this morning in our little family group, that we have to think ahead. We have to actually plan. And maybe this will be good for us. I'm sure it will be good for me. It's good for me to have to plan ahead. So it's a new way. It's a new day, and we have to find new ways in our new day. And I was thinking about a prophet who lived in the Old Testament. His name was Micah. And he lived during a time when the people of God were in great difficulty, much from their own making, but there was just trouble on every side. And people were saying, what can we do? What can we do to please God? Should we take him 10,000 sheep for an offering? Would that make him happy? Well, of course not. That wasn't what God was ever after. But here's what it says in Micah chapter 6, starting in verse 8. And I believe this so wholeheartedly that I have it on my bookmarks that I give out at my speaking events. He has shown you, O man or woman, what is good. And what does God require of you? To act justly, to love mercy, and to walk humbly with your God. That's all we have to do today. Do right, love mercy, walk humbly. Okay, let's do it. Stay safe. Tomorrow is April Fool's Day. Do not plan any mean practical jokes. This is not the time for it.